Now, WBOC News at 6, Delmarva's news leader.
Trying to make a dent in the damage one day after a tornado tore through Sussex County.
You know, we've done quite a bit of work, but still got a lot to do.
Some homes lie in ruins as the community now rallies to fix the storm's destruction. Good evening, I'm Chris Weimer in for Steve Hammond.
And I am Todd Curley. It'll be a long road to recovery for those affected by yesterday's early morning EF2 tornado, with winds reaching 120 miles an hour. Homes and farms throughout Laurel and Seaford saw severe damage and dozens of downed power lines. Yesterday, more than 7,000 Delmarva power customers were left in the dark, but the power company says crews worked around the clock to restore electricity to all customers. Despite all the destruction, the National Weather Service says only one minor injury was reported when a tree fell on a home. There is no estimate yet on how costly all that damage is. But as WBOC's Angela Bavaro shows us from Chopper 16, there is still plenty that has to be cleared up.
People we spoke with say they know it will be a long road to recovery, but they are ready to get to work. Taking a look from our Chopper 16 now, this is Seaford Road in Laurel, an area that was hit hard by the tornado. And as you can imagine, it was a busy morning for many neighbors starting the cleanup or rebuilding process.
A new day rising over the town of Laurel. But the devastation left in the path of yesterday's tornado hasn't gone anywhere.
It's just debris every place, and then what we do with it.
George Turner owns this house on the part of Seaford Road that saw major damage from the storm.
We think that there's some structural damage or possible damage to the garage.
His front yard now littered with downed power lines, tree branches, and pieces of wood.
I'll touch base with Nationwide and make sure that they're up on it.
Other homes on Seaford Road faring just as bad or even worse. Neighbors out this morning with chainsaws trying to make a dent in the damage.
Oh, it's crazy.
Moving and storage trucks sitting in front of houses ripped open by the storm, and debris still piled high in people's backyards.
As you can see right here behind me, several streets around Laurel were still closed to traffic this morning due to power outages and safety concerns.
As the work to rebuild and clean up continues, neighbors are not sure when things will get back to normal.
Ugh, it's gonna be wild, man.
Adam Presock's mom also lives on Seaford Road.
Out here on the highway, it's still pretty bad. There's household items on the highway.
He knows the recovery effort will take a lot of work.
Yesterday, everybody was out unbelievably talking about cleaning up together and everything else.
But he also knows this community can get through it together. Reporting in Sussex County, Angelo Bavaro, WBOC News.
It is not just families cleaning up. There are also numerous volunteers from all across Delmarva lending a helping hand. WBOC's Faith Woodard is live in the heart of the destruction. Faith, these volunteers simply want to ease the burden for families.
That's right, Chris. Earlier today, this place was swarming with volunteers, all trying to help families recover from this tornado. And if you take a look right here, you'll see some of these recently uncovered items, everything from a blanket to a boot, even this small toy that the O'Neill family says belonged to their daughter during her childhood years. And they say they don't have much at this time due to the destruction, but they do have the support of their community. The O'Neill family spent the day surveying what's left of their home.
It's definitely so sad. This was my great-grandmother's house, so it's been in our family for years.
Today they uncovered many items that were tossed and turned during the tornado, like this dining room table passed down in their family.
I always envisioned it always being in the family, maybe one day my kids could have memories here.
But families did not have to uncover all these items themselves. There were a few volunteers lending a hand, including a few teachers from Laurel Elementary who had the day off from school.
We needed to come and do something. We couldn't sit at home and not help when our students are in need of help or our students' families.
Emily Dukes is a 6th grader who spent her day picking up debris. She says her best friend lost everything and she just had to help.
I was actually looking for my best friend and I found a house that you can rent at Laurel Village, and she might be able to rent there because my bus stops there all the time.
But there were some items that made it through the tornado that somehow remain untouched, like this picture of Kimberly McWilliams' mom and stepdad. What does that signify to you? Do you think this is a message to you to continue to stay strong?
I know it is a sign. Know I had a lot of angels watching out over me, and no, it just warms my heart and makes me happy.
Trying to uncover the pieces in the hopes of moving forward. There's a saying I've been hearing all throughout the day from volunteers, and it's a saying that says Laurel takes care of their own, and volunteers say they're ready and willing with open arms to help all of these families recover. No word yet on if students will be returning to school tomorrow. Reporting live in Sussex County, Faith Woodard, WBOC News, Laurel.
Faith, thank you. While Laurel saw the brunt of the storm, the wreckage was widespread. The National Weather Service says the tornado traveled more than 6 miles. Chief Meteorologist Dan Satterfield is in the Storm Tracker Weather Center with a look we haven't seen quite yet of this path.
Yeah, I want to show you some video again with the map and our video from our chopper. And officially 6.2 miles on the path, but meteorologist Alex Seymour went up yesterday and he drove this entire path. And he saw damage beyond Georgetown all the way to Broadkill Beach. One of our weather watchers at Broadkill Beach has a picture that he sent me showing swirls in the grass that are very typical when a tornado passes over. So the continuous path, 6 miles, but this thing hopped, skipped, and jumped all the way to the Delaware Bay. You can see as you fly along there that it goes over a field, and then it will go and look at those trees in the upper left corner of that video there. You can see they're just snapped off. That's where the tornado went, right over that field. And then there's more damage down below, and then it skips. But, you know, this was an unusual event. Delaware has only had 14 EF2 or higher tornadoes ever recorded. There's only been one EF3. That was in April 28th, 1961. There's the Georgetown Airport there. The others were all EF2s, 14 of them, 3 of those in Sussex County. All those years, just 14 of those. So yesterday or Sunday night's event, very rare. Back to you all.
All right, Dan, thanks. Delaware's governor was in Sussex County today to get an idea of just how much damage has been caused by yesterday's tornado. Our Tom Lehman joins us now live from Laurel. And Tom, Carney is mulling whether to ask for federal disaster relief.
Todd, Carney was here trying to get more information on the ground as he prepares to make that decision. But for a lot of people, the damage here in the Laurel area is very obvious and very significant. I want you to walk with me and take a look at this building right here. As you can see, it collapsed during the tornado. And this building right off of Route 13, this was right off of Concord Road near Laurel. Not only that, but if you look at the distance and you look at the field, many farmers have to deal with farm equipment like that irrigator that's been strewn across fields in this area. Now, Governor Carney toured an area west of Route 13 that was hit pretty hard. State and county emergency management staffers say they don't think Delaware may qualify for federal disaster relief simply because there may not have been enough buildings damaged and destroyed to qualify. Regardless, Carney says the state still plans to ask for that money.
If you happen not to qualify because, you know, you're 1 or 2 homes short, well, let the FEMA make that decision and put an application in and see where it goes, because these folks are going to need some help.
The other matter that Carney said had to be considered was the types of insurances that people had in this area and whether certain buildings were insured or not. Reporting live in Sussex County, I'm Tom Lehman, WBOC News, Laurel.
While hearts are heavy in Laurel, there was a bit of light in the darkness downtown today. Many came out to celebrate a $500,000 Strong Neighborhoods grant. The grant is going towards 6 Habitat for Humanity houses and 4 new construction projects. A groundbreaking for those new houses took place on Oak Street today. Those with the Laurel Redevelopment Corporation say the long-planned projects have special meaning after the devastating tornado.
That happened yesterday, and the weather's changed so much, and here we are today celebrating the rehab of homes that have been deteriorated in just deplorable condition, and the construction of 4 new homes. So there's light here in Laurel.
All 10 houses benefiting from the grant will be finished by next year in downtown Laurel.
Back at the tornado scene, Little Leaguers are among those who are helping their friends and neighbors. As WBOC's Isabel Sanchez shows us, after a disaster like this one, every little bit of help counts.
Well, crews continue to work picking up whatever is left after yesterday's devastating tornado here in Laurel. Other volunteers are busy focusing on the people.
Good morning. Hi. I'm Ed from the Red Cross.
Ed Scarborough is no stranger to tragedy.
Last year, out of 365 days, I was deployed 162. Have you ever done this before?
The retired school teacher volunteers for the Red Cross all over the country.
I think it's great.
But yesterday's call was particularly important.
Being deployed all over the United States and then it hits home, I got to be here.
Ed grew up in Laurel before moving to North Carolina. His efforts, along with other organizations and volunteers, made a difference in the lives of hundreds affected by the tornado.
We provided breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Across town, Bethany Copeland with the Laurel Little League also felt the need to step up and help.
We felt yesterday wasn't about playing baseball games or softball games. It was about stepping up and helping our first responders and our community that was affected.
The Little League donated hamburgers, hot dogs, and more for those working at the Laurel Firehouse. And tonight, they continue those efforts, accepting food, clothing, and other donations at the concession stand.
They can also drop off batteries and shampoo, soap.
Of course, there's still a very long way back to recovery for this area of Laurel. As you can see, there are still big pieces of debris scattered all over the Seaford Road neighborhood. But as Ed told us, even 1 hour of volunteering can make a huge difference in a situation like this one. For now, reporting in Sussex County, Isabel Sanchez, WBOC News, Laurel.
Providing relief during natural disasters. Coming up here on WBOC News at 6, how the Salisbury Airport could soon be working with FEMA.
And Maryland's House Speaker is laid to rest today. Friends, family, and colleagues celebrate the life of Michael Bush.